Well, it's about that time, Jarvis. And
Yes.
like you said, the fans should have their Built Bars ready. Now, whether they're going to be eating them in celebration tomorrow evening or whether they're going to be eating them because they're stressed out tomorrow evening, who knows? Because we don't know which 41 Hawk team is going to show up, right? We hope
Yes.
that it's the 41 win Hawk team that we
Yes.
also saw Tuesday evening and literally really made an exclamation point down in South Beach, or we're going to see the other one. To me, it's very interesting because the commentary has been, and we'll talk a little bit about something I heard Sadiq Bey mention as well as Dejounte Murray mention and kind of feed off of that. But the Boston Celtics have been an interesting nemesis for the Hawks because the Hawks have gotten
Yeah.
close every single game, unfortunately. Did not beat them this season, but they've been close in all three games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you look back, now we're in a different space. We've got Quinn Snyder, who's now been there, and we're starting to see signs that what he's implementing is starting to work.
Yes.
Trae Young is starting to understand the assignment a little bit better when teams bring that trap D on him. And we cannot say enough about the bench mob 2.0 and what they've been able to do, especially showing up on the road when the Hawks needed it most. But do you feel that it's a group or a person or even a philosophy? Which one do you think is going to be the most important in terms of the Hawks establishing themselves and competing in this series?
Wow. I think I'm gonna go with a group, and I'm going to put Dejounte Murray and Trae Young in that same group, right? And here's why. Because I think that how teams defend Trae in the playoffs is going to be huge as to how they respond. Because we know if they are going to trap Trae, like Trae needs to know how to be able to respond to that accordingly, right? Getting the ball out of his hands and getting it to the right person, and then making sure once he gets it out of his hands, he just doesn't go stand behind the 3-point line and just go chill and create some motion and run that offense that Quinn Snyder wants to run. Because I think that one of the reasons why Dejounte Murray was traded for was because they needed somebody who can handle the rock too. And not only when Trae was off the court, but when he's on the court and teams start to play him just like Miami Heat, because Miami Heat gave the blueprint, right? And you've seen
Yes.
team from time in and night out throw that trap D at Trae, and how he responded was basically going to determine whether or not they were going to win that game. So I think I'm gonna go with the group with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, and making sure that once that ball comes out of your hand, come out of Trae's hands and goes into DeJounte's hands or whoever hands it goes into, making sure that they're moving it, continue to move the ball and find the open man, because that ball movement piece, that's a philosophy. I guess I'm giving you two answers here. That's a philosophy of moving the rock and making sure DeJounte Murray and Trae Young are making good decisions with the basketball.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with philosophy as well as for my number one, because if I look into the numbers, the offensive rebounding from game one that they played with the Celtics against the
Yes.
Celtics earlier in the season and game two, and specifically game three, even though we all know those were kind of your second units that were out there, but still, the offensive rebounding looked like night and day. And we
Mm-hmm.
know that the reason for that is Quinn Snyder. So I'll kind of put philosophy slash Quinn Snyder, but I think it's
Indeed.
that philosophy of understanding the importance of getting after it, getting after the boards, and making sure that the Celtics do not have an opportunity to get back down the court. Second chance points has been the Hogs' bread and butter of late. When they have
Yep.
not been able to get it done, especially beyond the arc, which in all three Celtics games, they really did not have a good game from beyond the arc. Where they've been able to make a difference is, hey, we know that a long rebound could be coming. We're going to get it. Or we know that even if it's a point blank shot, somebody could actually still miss it. So let's be under that basket and let's be waiting for that basket so that we can get that easy tip in. Is that philosophy of understanding the importance of battling on the boards. And for everybody, despite the fact that Clint Capella had 21 rebounds in the game, in the win against the Heat, the biggest thing for me, Jarvis, was that everybody had at least one rebound. That's the most important thing. If I can go up and down the 9-man rotation and I can see some battling on the boards, to me, that philosophy is going to be key because you're not going to necessarily beat them from distance. They've
Yeah.
gotten you there pretty much every single game. But where you have been inching up and getting closer to them is your field goal percentage, that's improved, your offensive rebounding, that's improved, and your second chance points, that's improved. So if you have an opportunity to go for second chance points, guess who doesn't have the ball, Jarvis? Jason Tatum. Guess who doesn't have the ball? Jaylen Brown. Guess who doesn't have the ball? Some rando off the bench to beat you from the 3-point line. So that's,
Absolutely.
to me, that's the philosophy. And also going back to your point, I want to just second it as that's my 1A. And then maybe my 1B would be the same as yours, which would be your backcourt and
Yeah.
making sound basketball decisions like we're starting to see Trae make. When that 3-point shot is not there, just make the Celtics make decisions. And
Yep.
why do I say it that way?
Yep.
Because Dejounte Murray, he's going to make the Celtics make decisions
Yep.
because he uses his basketball
He gonna
IQ.
get to his spot. Yeah.
Exactly. And even when the stats don't always show it, he's still making those good basketball decisions that are making you think, okay, I don't really know where DJ is going to go with this thing. Trae Young has to do that every single possession. He can't allow them to know that, oh my goodness, I'm going to get trapped in the back court and I'm going to end up with 5 turnovers right out of the gate. Can't let them have that. Make them decide, oh, wait a minute. Is Trae going to kick this thing out to Sadiq Bey? Is Trae going to kick this out to AJ Griffin? Should he get inserted into the game tonight? Is he going to kick it out? Who is he going to kick this ball out to? Or is he going to try to drive the lane and get to the free throw line? Or is he going to hit us with a little floater? Is he going to do a pick and roll alley? Like, they need to be thinking all the time, Jarvis. Trae Young has to be his most unpredictable self so that he can throw the Celtics off and make them think about where he's going to go as opposed to knowing where he's going to go. I think that's going to be critical.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you put that, the unpredictable self. Under control and unpredictable. Is that possible? Yeah, we definitely shall see. But I think that when, the matchup piece is probably going to be something that's going to come into play as well because, Derek White, I believe that the Boston Celtics probably throw Derek White on Trae.
Yes.
And we know he's had some success from time to time with him. And I think that Trae probably will be able to take advantage of that because we know Marcus Smart and Trae getting on each other. We know we don't need to get into that type of stuff.
Right. You got Dejounte Murray.
Yes.
Use your weapon and ask him, hey, this D White dude, Derek White has really gotten the best of me. So get your tips from Dejounte Murray. He's seen him front and center. He knows what Derek White's game looks like. So take advantage of having somebody like Dejounte Murray there and available to be able to tell you exactly what it is that you need to do in order to be able to handle whatever Derek White throws at you when, as you mentioned, he's inserted into the game. Now, speaking of being inserted into the game, our everydayers always insert themselves into the ATL Day One's game. How and why? Because you guys drop great comments into our comment section on YouTube. You guys also tweet at us, and we appreciate all that because you know what? When you make ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day, it's always the coolest thing for us to know by you acknowledging us. So everydayers, know that we appreciate you. Keep bringing the comments because we read them, we react to them. You guys bring us some good information as well. So we hope to keep bringing you some good information as well. So to our everydayers, we appreciate you stopping by ATL Day Ones and really stopping by everybody on the Locked On Sports Atlanta Network. Keep doing your thing and we will keep doing ours too.